Hello, my name is Sonali and I welcome you back to a new episode of Around the World in 7 Days. Trade has been an important determinant of international relations in the world. Since the beginning of civilization, trade relations have determined the strategy of future relations, playing an important role in international cooperation and peace. Be it the Harappan civilization or the Mesopotamian civilization, trade was the basis of their contact. These trade relations laid the foundation of colonialism in modern times as well. Economic interests have been scripting peace, cooperation, and war in international relations. In this regard, the Dutch diplomat 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 said in the 17th century that economics is never separate from war and peace. This assessment made by Grotius in the 17th century still holds true. Although we can see this in mutual conflicts between global superpowers, its impact in regional politics also cannot be ignored. Middle East Asia, which has been a volatile region for years, has always been dominated by the battle for supremacy. Saudi Arabia and Iran have been face to face in the supremacy battle in the Middle East. But as soon as Iran became weak, Saudi Arabia really established its empire. But it is said that times change. In the midst of the changing equation in the Middle East, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is facing a challenge from the United Arab Emirates, which was once its close ally. And the main basis of this conflict is economic interest. Actually, in view of the increasing global concern about climate change, Gulf countries have started looking for new alternatives other than oil. In an effort to find new business options at home, it has become the need of the hour for them to attract foreign investment and enter into agreements like free trade agreements with other countries. For this reason, both UAE and Saudi Arabia have started searching for their new partners in Southeast Asia. In this process, talks have recently taken place between the United Arab Emirates and Vietnam regarding the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, while Saudi Arabia is also in discussion with Thailand, Philippines, and Indonesia. It implies that there is a competition going on between these two friends of Middle East in some area thousands of kilometers away. In such a situation, the question is, what is the meaning of this competition? Can this competition create any instability in Southeast Asia like the Middle East? What does this mean for India? We'll try to understand all these questions in this episode. But first of all, let's try to understand its background. Actually, both Saudi Arabia and UAE have decided to implement several domestic reform programs under Vision 2030. Under this, both the countries are going through massive economic and social changes. Although these initiatives and reforms are internal, but the consequences of such huge changes will surely leave their impact on the regional politics. As a result of climate change, the world is looking for new alternative energy sources other than fossil fuels, due to which these Gulf countries are seeing their future bleak. The havoc of COVID has given a deep blow to their economy. It became clear that they would not be able to keep pace with the changing environment without major changes in their economic policies and economy. In such a situation, both the countries are looking for new ways and allies for themselves, which has made them stand face to face. In fact, it is necessary to attract foreign investment to speed up trade and economy, and for those friendly relations with countries is needed. In such a situation, concern about the future and conflict of mutual interest have made both the countries each other's competitor. Political analysts are of the view that the competition between Saudi Arabia and the UAE to attract foreign investment has now reached the point where they have started enacting laws that defy the laws of the Gulf Cooperation Council, and the interesting thing is that both these countries are important members of this council. Last month, UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed met Vietnam's Vice President 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 in Abu Dhabi. Although it was stated that the goal of this meeting was to discuss the COP28 summit, which is going to be held in UAE later this year. However, a comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the two countries was also discussed in this high-level meeting. If signed, this agreement will become the fourth such agreement in Southeast Asia that the UAE has signed. Earlier, UAE has signed such agreements with Indonesia, India and Cambodia. The UAE is also in talk with other countries of the region, Malaysia, Thailand and Vietnam, regarding the agreement. On the other hand, separate bilateral meetings were also held recently by Saudi Arabian officials with their counterparts in Thailand, Philippines and Indonesia. The objective of these meetings was to enhance bilateral ties and expand opportunities for comprehensive economic engagement. In view of this, Saudi Arabia also took initiative to normalize its relations with Thailand after 30 years. Not only this, during 2019 to 2022, Saudi officials held about 9 high-level engagements with their Southeast Asian counterparts. Apart from this, Prince Mohammed of Saudi Arabia himself tried to strengthen his relations with these countries by attending almost all the conferences of Southeast Asia. In such a situation, many political analysts believe that Southeast Asia is becoming a battleground between these two countries. However, they believe that such competition between the two is positive for international companies, expatriates, citizens and investors. It will also enhance the inclusive and trustworthy nature of the digital economy in the region. Indeed, with these new changes, Saudi Arabia and the UAE are not only strengthening their diplomatic ties in Southeast Asia, but also expanding regional economic integration through energy cooperation, expansion of digital infrastructure, industry cooperation, and various other means. Since these two countries have not entered into any agreement regarding defense issues, it is believed that there is negligible chance of security threat. The best part is that it is neither destructive nor zero-sum, even as Gulf competition intensifies across the region. In such a situation, there will not be any loser, but everyone will be a winner. So that's all for the day. See you again in the next episode. But before that, let's note down a question based on today's story. Increasing economic competition between Saudi Arabia and the UAE in Southeast Asia will create more opportunities than instability for the region. Discuss.